All right, all right. Well, welcome again to another Talking with the Barrett show. I'm Bishop Michael Barrett.
And I'm First Lady Lakeisha Barrett. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, we don't know where we are. We do know where we are, but
We
we
know
cannot pronounce the name, so I'm not even going to get on here and try to pronounce the name, chop it up. But we are having an amazing, amazing time. Listen, brought you on here. I want to just give you a brief update of what's going on out here in these islands. For me, I'm having an amazing time. But yesterday really touched my heart. Yesterday morning, I was going to breakfast, ran into a young lady, and she says, "You don't know what this is doing to me." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "To see so many black people, my people." And she said it just really does something to her. She's been traveling on the cruise ship. She's never seen a whole ship, a whole cruise ship of black people. It's like a takeover. And she's from South Africa. She said it was just amazing. And so I said, "Oh, okay, that's a blessing." And then time went on. We got off the ship. We were doing what we was doing. Last night we had dinner. It was an all-white dinner affair. And we ran into the young lady again. And so I said, "Excuse me, could you come here and share with my family what you shared with me at breakfast?" And she shared with us how she was just so blessed by seeing so many black people, her people. It was amazing for her. And she was young, 30 years old. Actually, it was her birthday. And we all came together and blessed her with some money for her birthday. And it's nothing but God, nothing but God. It was really, really beautiful. And so shout out to her and her experience. And as you can see on the video, the picture with all of us and the young lady. And again, it was just a blessing. So what was your take out of that, First Lady?
We are in the Caribbean, somewhere in the Caribbean, and yes, definitely having a great time. The young lady was a blessing to just see her smile and just to hear the enthusiasticness in her voice, and just to see her be so bubbly, see all the people be so bubbly, in spite of how hard they're being worked, because it's a ship full of kings and queens and a few jokers along the way as well. So we've been having a beautiful time. Unfortunately, you all can only just see the amazing beauty of the sky. We will take pictures and show you all the island that we're on. So for those of you who are just tuning in, Bishop and I are on a cruise. This is like part 3 of our cruise. This is the 3rd show that we've done on the cruise. So those of you who are just tuning in, welcome to Talking with the Barretts. We are on the Fantasy at Sea, Festival at Sea cruise, and shout out to the staff of Festival at Sea. They're doing an amazing job. Last night we were thrilled with the performance of October London. The night before that, Maya. The night before that, Sherry Shepherd. And tonight is Boys to Men.
Wait. Time out, y'all. She skipped over something. Last night, John Sachs performed. He's the saxophonist, world-renowned, amazing talent, gift. He had organist, pianist, keyboardist, guitarists, bass players, the whole shebang. And we were sitting there, and lo and behold, he came to First Lady, and he allowed her to sing a song. And she, they say she serenaded me with Anita Baker, giving you the best that I've got. That's what I heard.
That's what you heard?
Yeah,
Weren't you there?
I was there.
You didn't see it?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful situation. She sang Anita Baker, "Giving You the Best That I've Got." And so we had a really good time on last night, and we are getting ready to get off the ship. Yeah, it's been a blessing. We're getting ready to actually get off the ship, go to another island. And so for those of you who have been tuning in, listen, we are blessed by what's going on. And as you can see in the photo, that was our last island that we were on.
So this is the first island that we're going to be on for like a whole day. God will be here for 11 hours today.
Oh, wow.
We'll actually sell at 11:59, so right before midnight we'll be taking off. And the joke of the cruise is make sure you don't make sure you're not runaway bae, right? You're not the one trying to run and catch the boat, because let me tell you, it has happened not on this cruise that we know of, but it has happened prior to, where people, mistake the time that you're supposed to be back on the ship versus the time the ship departs.
Right.
So if the ship departs at 3, what you don't want to do is be coming back to the ship at 3, because when it says depart, that means already raised up the big old anchor and all the stuff and closed down, and we are moving. So people getting the departure and the getting back on the boat times confused. So if the departure time is 3, we're making sure we're back by 1, because we will not be in
No
that
later
long
than 1:30,
line.
y'all. No later than 1:30.
Nor will we be the ones crying, talking about.
As a matter of fact, we was talking to someone yesterday, and they was saying that when they were on a cruise ship before, they were all sitting there, and all of a sudden, this husband and wife, they start running to the boat, trying to get on the cruise ship, and once that door closes, it's too late. And lo and behold, their luggage is still on that cruise ship, so you got a
passports.
choice to either fly to the next port, get ahead of it, or
If you can, because some of the islands we've been on are so tiny, I couldn't
Don't
even
have no
imagine them.
airport.
I mean, I'm sure they have a little super pellets, but I don't.
propellers.
Listen, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Listen, y'all.
So, yeah. So, and so the people, when the couple was running, the people was singing.
Oh my goodness. They were singing like what's the song? Goodbye.
La 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 la.
Hey, goodbye. That's just wrong.
That's you know that is wrong.
That's wrong.
But that's what they were singing. The people were
That is
out.
wrong.
People that was on the cruise was waving to the couple.
That's wrong.
Oh, forgive us for laughing.
Lord, yeah,
was
that's
waving
wrong.
to the couple that missed the ship, and they was like, nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 hey, goodbye.
That is
So,
wrong.
yeah, so
you know,
you-
First Lady and I would have been praying for that.
After we laughed, because we laughed now. Come on, the people love us because we keep it real, bro. I would have been praying like, Lord, please let them get to the next destination. But you ought not be playing around with these ports, and it ain't even that much going on these islands where you run into the ship.
Right,
And you
right,
know,
right.
no, whatever you did on the island, you can do on the ship, because you can do what you want to do on the ship. You understand me? And what I'm not about to do is be running behind the anchor. Baby. Oh, we've been playing spades on the ship. We've been praising God. They've had Bible study every morning. No, we didn't make it.
Tuesday and Monday.
But we did go to church.
Church was amazing.
Amazing.
She sang in the choir. First Lady sang in the choir.
Did, I
And she's
did.
also getting ready for the gospel brunch, I believe, on Thursday and Friday.
I will.
Then they have Ruben Studdard coming on. They also have Boys to Men coming on tonight when we get back on the ship.
Damian Williams tomorrow. He's a
And whoever
comedian.
that is.
Don't do him like
I don't know him like
Well,
that.
you don't
I
have
mean,
to.
everybody else we named, I know. I thought it was one of the Wayman brothers. I don't know him, man.
No.
Listen,
Yeah, I
I
don't
thought it
even
was
know
one of
he's
the
a
Wayman
comedian.
brothers. I don't know no
He's
Damons
not
other
a
than the
Wayman.
Wayman
He's
brothers.
not a Wayman.
What them people called? The comedian brothers.
You talking about
The Damien and Marlon, what they were named? Wayans? Well, anyhow, listen, Damon, what my wife said is
Williams.
David Williams. I never heard of him, y'all. He could be next door. I don't know the man. But what I'm saying is,
Comedian.
we've had a nice time. No, not a nice time. We've had an amazing time. One more thing. I met a couple the other day, elderly couple, in all sincerity, elderly couple, and the husband and wife been on the ship for many years, and the husband shared that he had stage 4 cancer. I met him walking. I just started talking to him, and he said something about the food. He said the food was good. I said no. Yeah, the food was good. And he said, God is good as well. And I said, no, God is, I
Good
said,
afternoon.
I-
Hi. What island is this?
this is our neighbor.
I'm not sure. I can't pronounce it.
Oh my God. Hi.
Okay.
Our neighbor next door was asking us what island was this. It's it's I
Don't
can't
drive,
remember.
don't drive.
Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna help her out. Hold on, 'cause I'm gonna share it with y'all as well. Cause I did take a picture. So the island is called. The island is called. Caraco.
Caraco.
Curacao.
Okay.
Yes,
you.
thank you. How are you?
Caraco.
Yeah. Williamstead, Caraco, something. Listen, anyway. So, he and I were talking. She got jokes, y'all. This only song her and I laughing at. But listen, so he was sharing. We had to give First Lady her moment to laugh, y'all. Cause I know what she's laughing at. I'm trying to hold her in, but she ain't doing no justice. Okay, bring it in. Okay. So all sincerity, yesterday I met the older gentleman, and he was saying that God was good, like the ship and everything. I said, no, the food was good, but God is great. And we started just talking about the Lord. And he shared personally how he was battling stage 4 cancer, from the top of his head to the soles of his feet. And he said he's enjoying himself because God has given him time to just enjoy himself. And yesterday we went off the island, went to the island. We ran into he and his wife out by the pool, talked to them some more last night.
You been hanging out with them all day.
Yeah, we hang with him all day.
Yeah.
We sat listening to John Sachs play the saxophone and everything, and we sat and talked with them, got them some food. But to see, I think they've been married over 40-something years,
Yeah.
and to see the love that they have, we prayed for his wife, prayed with him, and just encouraged them, But here's somebody that the doctors said that he doesn't have much time to live. But yet, he was still thanking God. He was still praising God.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of the young lady that we were just talking about, because she said last year she lost her mom to COVID. And she said during COVID she lost her mom. And she said when she lost her mom, she found herself getting closer to God.
Yeah.
Some people in the midst of tragedy, storms, trials, tribulations, and bad situations, they run from God, and then there are those who run to God. And I just want to encourage you, if you have been running from God, make a U-turn and start running towards God. The storm is not going to last forever.
Yes.
We all go through trials, we all go through tribulations, but God is able to get us through it. So we just want to encourage you to keep your faith, keep your hope, and just know that it gets greater later.
So true. Relevant, real, and righteous. That's what you have to just continue to lean toward. Problems arrive. We actually had a medical emergency on the ship. My mother felt a little ill, just motion sickness, and they called me. And the first thing I did, went up there with my blessed oil, Lester, and took her to the medics. They came and got her. Left her down there to get some IV to get back hydrated. But I just had to remind everybody in the room, as well as myself, because it's my mother, listen, this is just a situation. This is not permanent. This doesn't mean that, the cruise is canceled or that our vacation wasn't warranted. Oftentimes things come about and the first thing we want to go is, why this happened, how this happened, and the reality is life is going to keep lifing, and we just have to remain humble in it, stay prepared as to what we are doing and how we're gonna go through it. The day we got on the cruise, I think I shared it in the first show. We received a phone call that my 90-year-old grandmother went into ICU. She had been falling sick. My grandmother had not ever been in the hospital since the birth of my youngest uncle, who was like 60 plus years old. So for her to have to go to the hospital 60 plus years later at 90 years old, you know, because she's exhausted from taking care of everybody else better than herself, issues happen. But I told my mother and myself as well, listen, Big Mama is in God's hands, and we definitely have got to learn how to. It's easier said than done. So I'm not pushing aside anybody's feelings or the reality of things that happen. The reality is life is happening every day, but it's not what we do, it's how we handle it. It's not about who's right, it's about what's right. We're not wrong when we get anxious or nervous or any of those things, because we are human. But we have to figure out a way to allow our faith to kick in over our fear and take mind control. The preacher preached on Sunday about stepping out of the boat, and he said to us, you all would have looked out your window or your balcony and seen some man, hashtag Jesus, on the water saying, come, you are tripped out, because he talked about, Jesus on the boat and how Peter, stepped out on the water. But we're not saying to step out of the boat in a sense of harming yourself, but stepping out on faith, what that looks like, what that walk on water faith look like. And we are living examples of that. What my husband didn't mention is the elderly couple that we spoke about, that we met on yesterday. The husband, who's fighting cancer, also just had surgery a week or two ago, dealing with his kidney. And he was like, I'm still going on my cruise. And he's pushing his walker and he's able to sit down, but he don't look like he just had kidney surgery. I don't look like I just had a brain aneurysm and 4 tubes of fluid drained off of my brain the early part of June. But I've got the doctorate papers to prove it. And so when you are dealing with life unexpectancies, just continue to tap into faith, tap into your Heavenly Father. One of the things that I've appreciated about the talent that has been entertaining us, they all have spoken about how they have faith in God. This has been a very inspiring trip, vacation much needed, but to just sit, we were at dinner late last night, and there was a man walking. I said, you walk like a preacher. And he was like, thank you, but he was a man of God. We sat and we spoke to him, and his wife, and the table full of elders. I mean, this cruise is, we've seen babies barely walking to people running around with oxygen tanks and in their wheelchairs, and 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s. So this cruise is a crew of doctors and retired politicians and hardworking everyday people, families. I met a woman, her husband passed away a few years ago. So he passed away in 2021. This is the first cruise that she and her daughter has taken since the husband passed away. And the Holy Spirit just told me to pour into the young girl on yesterday, and I did. And so the mother came back when John Stacks was playing last night. She was like, thank you again for, that encouragement you gave my daughter. And that's when she shared that, the daughter's father, her ex-husband, had passed away. And she was like, even though we had, divorced and we weren't together, I still took care of him when he fell sick. And this was the first cruise they had taken without him. And she was just saying how we just gave her hope and inspiration. So when you're walking around in your everyday life, make sure that you are able to smile. We've had people come to us, just saying, man, I want to see what y'all wearing today, and I've just been watching y'all. You just don't never know who's watching, and we're not walking around with badges on saying Bishop and First Lady, or jackets on that saying, saved, sanctified, and delivered. But it's just the light, it's the aura that God has, placed in us. It's the light that God has allowed to shine from within us, and so I'm grateful for that.
I think that's the most important thing, because we all go through trials and tribulations, and a lot of times when we preach, we teach, and we talk about people going through stuff, people look at it like, oh, they don't understand because they don't go through nothing. But you would be surprised at the stuff that we have to go through. Preaching on Sunday is one thing, teaching a Bible study is one thing, but actually having to also live by and abide by what you teach and what you preach is also. So when I preach about faith, or when I preach about hope and different things like that, it is my foundation as well. My wife has been with me for 12 years, and I know when we first met, it was a faith walk, and it's still a faith walk. And so when I preach about faith, I don't just open up the scriptures and preach about Moses' faith, or preach about Noah's faith, or preach about Daniel's faith. No, I preach about faith as it relates to the Word of God, but then also faith as it relates to the faith that I have to have on a daily to walk with God. And the Bible actually says without faith it's impossible to please God. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, right? And he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. And I know being on this cruise, for me, it has really done something in a sense of allowing me to see the awesomeness of God, allowing me to see the mighty works of God. And then also being able to say, you know what, Michael, just talking to myself, you know what, Michael, you needed this, and so I took this time to really say to myself, I needed this, because I'm so used to just giving myself. I'll give myself to the church, I'll give myself to the community, I'll give myself to the family, stuff like that. So for me to just take this time, it's really been refreshing. It's been a blessing. I've met amazing people from all over the country, all over the world, all over the state, and to be able to be, like my wife said, a beacon of light. When people see you, no matter if you're standing behind a pulpit, no matter if you're opening up a Bible, when they see you, they ought to see Christ in you. And that's what we want. There are some times where Christ is not shining through us because we're in our flesh. There are some times where he's not shining through us because we're trying to figure it out ourselves. But when we're literally walking in the Spirit of God and people are watching, people can see and say, there's something about you. People stop my wife and say, oh my God, your teeth are so beautiful and you're so beautiful. But the inward part is the most important part, because our outward beauty is perishing. But the inward beauty, when people see you, you want them to see the Christ in you. What is that? What does that look like? That's hope. That's the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, kindness, meekness, self-control. When we walk in that, when we face situations and we don't get frustrated, we don't get stressed out, we approach it in the Spirit of God, and that's going to bring peace to the situation. You can't bring frustration to your situation and expect your situation to change. If the situation is toxic, you bring in toxicity to the situation, that's going to just be all toxic. But if you bring in peace to a situation, if you bring in love to a situation, if you bring in joy to a situation, if you bring in self-control, gentleness, kindness, meekness, it's going to bring the presence of God. And the presence of God can shift any atmosphere, in the hospital, in the courtroom, in a marriage, in a relationship, and in an addiction, in a stronghold. It can shift the atmosphere. In a prison cell, it can shift the atmosphere. So listen, we love you. We thank God for you tuning in. And we're enjoying ourselves. And we're going to bring you the next show. I promise to bring you some exclusive pictures, some videos of some beautiful, beautiful islands, and at the end of it all, we're going to give you some information how you and your family can possibly enjoy a trip like this.
That's
So God
sold out
bless
and
you.
going on. The tickets go on sale today. Put your deposit down today because this cruise has been sold out for 30 years.
Well,
And,
listen, all
but if
things
it's meant
are possible.
to be, listen,
to
we got
who
in.
believe.
We got in, so we believe that we got in. You can get in also. So we're going to go, and it's 1 o'clock. So they're getting ready to. It's 12:58, but they're getting ready to let everyone off the ship, and we have a full day on this beautiful island. I wish we could like show them back there.
All right, you guys, let me show you guys what we got going on. Let's see. Let's see.
That doesn't even give you.
Well, listen.
Get it off.
What we're gonna do, oh yeah, see, they got the people getting off, y'all. But what we're gonna do, First Lady and I are gonna take as many pictures as we can. We're gonna take as many pictures as we can, and we will promise you and we will promise you,
Come on, you can't get the people dizzy now.
we'll promise you to take some pictures and bring you on board. All right? We love you. God bless you. And as First Lady and I say, there's nothing you can do about it. What were they talking with?
The barracks. Oh. Listen, I got a lot going on right now. You're talking with the barracks. You're talking with the barracks. You're talking with the barracks. You're talking with the barracks.
All right, you guys. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.